Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or start of your day, depending on what time you are listening to this. Welcome to episode 10 of the Barbells, Burgers and Bitchin podcast with your hosts, Hannah and...
Alex.
So enthusiastic. We are back with another Q&A session based off questions that either clients have asked us over the last weeks, friends or family may have asked, followers or whatever conversations we've had with people online may have asked, and essentially stuff that we think everyone is going to benefit from listening. However,
Yes.
in old B3 poddy fashion, we're going to kick this episode off with something to just oil the, what's the phrase?
Cogs.
Yeah, that'll do. Oil the cogs, and with it being Christmas time, I don't want that question anymore. I'm gonna stick with the what's your favourite part of a roast dinner?
I think that's better than that question.
Because I was gonna ask, what's your favourite Christmas song? And Alex has just opened up and said he hates all Christmas music. He hates the festive period, and he just
I feel like Mariah Carey has just made her living off just basically being defrosted in December.
kudos to her.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's shit.
If you could make multi-millions of pounds off every 25th of December, would you not do whatever it took to do that?
Yeah, but it's shit. The song's shit.
It's not.
It is.
Can you sing like that?
No, but I don't want to sing like that. I'd sing about better
You
stuff.
fucking would if you got the income she gets from it.
All I want for Christmas.
It's only because you've overheard it.
No, because I overhear plenty of songs that I like and I don't get sick of them. I hear that once and I want to throw myself off a bridge.
Well, then you're just screwed.
It's like her. Is it Bublé's the other one that's done a Christmas thing? They're all just...
They've all done it. Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Sia.
Oh, snowflakes falling and Christmas lights and...
Why do you hate Christmas music?
Because it's just too cheery, isn't it?
What's wrong with that?
Because I don't want to, like, for a month solid, I don't want to hear about people dancing, singing, snowflakes falling. So I know what happens at Christmas. You know, I don't have to be reminded of it every single fucking minute of the day.
It's nice and happy. Why do you not want to be reminded of it?
Because I know I'm fine with that. It's not like everyone's... Why aren't there any Easter songs?
Well, probably are. There's probably biblical ones that we don't listen to because we're not religious.
Yeah, and why aren't there, I don't know, every other holiday?
Like what?
I don't know. I can't think of holidays off the top of my head right now. But like, you don't go through all of
Valentine's Day.
You don't go. Yeah, you don't go through all of February. Well, I suppose there's like WAP and stuff, is there? Isn't it? That's a Valentine's Day song, isn't it? Cardi B and WAP. That's Valentine's.
I mean, there's definitely going to be loads of like love-based. There's loads of like love-based songs. So honestly,
yeah, and I don't listen to them either. Or there are some bangers.
Yeah.
Like, is it Mario? Let Me Love You. Please should let me love.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Let me see that? I don't mind that because it's good. It's a good song. Whereas Mariah Carey going, oh no, and was hers even the original?
I don't know. I assume so. Could not be hilarious if she's made that much money off not even being the original song.
I'm googling it.
It must be the original song.
I'm googling it because like all of those songs are just covers of covers.
No, I'm sure that must be her. Anyway, what's your favourite part of a Christmas dinner?
The oink oink in the blanket.
The oink and the pig in the blanket. Is the Yorkshire pudding a valid part of the Christmas dinner, or is that selective?
I think it's valid, but I don't think it's the exclusive. Like I wouldn't say.
Like I think pig in the blanket would be my top one, but you've already said that, so I feel like I've got to go for the next part.
I think she was the original, by the way.
A good roast potato, but easily. I love honey roasted carrots. That's such a...
Right, pigs and blanket, clear winner, pig wrapped in more pig, the go-to choice.
I could honestly strand honey roasted carrots forever. Roast potatoes dipped in gravy. But it's easy to really fuck up a roast potato, and I don't get why, because it is really simple.
The bird is the worst part of a Christmas dinner.
The bird? The meat? So because you don't like chicken? Or
yeah, but you have ham. You can have ham with Christmas dinner.
Is that a bird?
No,
Last time I checked that.
Yeah, but you're saying no, because you were saying the meat. It's like no, because you can have ham with the thing. The bird, the turkey, or the chicken is the worst part because it's just
disagree.
Turkey's dry as fuck.
It depends how you cook it. I agree. Yeah, but that's why I prefer chicken.
Yeah, you think out of everything there, like you have turkey,
a bit dead.
and you have all the veg, you have the pigs and blanket, you have all your whatever, and out of all that, the turkey is the worst. It's the worst.
Turkey is more commonly like less flavourful and less moist, but
have some sawdust with your lovely Christmas dinner.
No, it's not sawdust.
We had cock last time.
Pardon?
We usually go
steak.
Oh well, maybe, but no, we usually go for cock instead of chicken or turkey. We go cock. You know, male.
Is it? No.
Big cock.
Do you ever get cocks when you're having a chicken? How do you know if it's a cock?
Because the chicken is the female.
I know what that. No, it's a hen, actually. The chicken is the species, you moron.
Yeah, the chicken is the species. The hen is the female. Yeah, we have a cock. We have the bloke.
How do you know? Did it sound a
That's
penis?
where we. No,
How did you know then?
because when you go to the people that supplying the bird, supplying
Must
thy
be-
bird, supplying the bird, they go, this is a cock.
Oh, is it bigger?
I think it depends how cold it is. Yeah, well, the male bird is typically bigger, isn't it?
Well, I know it is, but like, is it significantly once they pluck it all down and they skin it alive and?
Yeah, you're right. Cock is 90% feathers.
Well, I don't know. Could be a fluffy one. Depends on the breed, I guess. Anyway, a good gravy as well. People really people think Bisto and water is where it's no. A good gravy takes time. It takes layers, and
You're thinking of onions.
Okay. No, onions in gravy, they go really well.
No, Shrek quote. No, you missed that one.
Yeah, I know exactly what you meant. Onions have layers. Ogres.
Ogres are like onions.
They have layers.
They have layers.
Alas,
Donkey!
Get out my swamp. Shrek 2, best film ever. Which one?
You think it's better than the original?
I do really like the original.
I do think Shrek 2 is better than the first one as well.
I agree. Really like the original though. That's the one where Fiona sings and bursts that animal, doesn't she?
The birds,
they explode. Iconic moment in childhood TV, to be fair. Anyway, we're digressing. Moving on to the actual Q&A, the productive stuff that we are going to be talking about. Once again, pre-workout has come up, but in a slightly different context, which is why I'm giving it the time.
More liquid, or
a little bit more supplement orientated.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Actually discussed on this pod. We're also going to talk about confidence and when is the best time to start your health and fitness journey.
Oh, isn't that topical?
Yes. Oh, yes, actually. Do you mean New Year, New Me bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we touched a bit on that last time.
We did, actually, off the back of that.
But we're going to come at it from a different angle because you've had conversations with one or two people about that, like, the perfect, when should I start? But we can apply that to a load of other things and use our experiences as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And exercise selection, when to pick the right thing for you,
which is
what to do if you're limited with equipment.
Yeah, it's a broad one, but I think we've got an angle that we want to attack.
I think it's going to help people be a lot more independent and confident with their choices in the gym because it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes, and there's a lot to choose from. So knowing which is going to be the right.
Should I do this? Should I do that? Oh, look, a shiny thing. Don't do a Bosu ball and give David Weck the time of day. Just avoid Bosu balls.
Follow David Weck if you want to see what.
Don't. Oh, no, check out his page. Don't follow him. We do not need that moron gaining more clout. Yeah, man, the spine is a coil. It's an engine. Shut up.
Oh, it's so annoying.
I saw a meme. Actually, I'm gonna get it up because I just want you to see this because I think I sent it to you. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't know what that was. I sent it to you, but you ignored it. Look, there you go. Ah! David Weck realising that if you create a training system that uses zero objective data and relied only on feel, that people wouldn't know they were being sold snake oil.
I did not see you sent me. Oh, I saw that you'd sent me something from Anderson Strength Fitness.
Yeah, didn't open it there, did you? Is my volume still on? Have I knocked the mic a bit? Was that okay?
That's for the if you got.
In that case, ignore me. Yeah, see, snake oil salesman.
I've been out seeing your friend actually. So now I haven't been on my phone because when I'm with my friends,
sorry,
I'm present and I'm not scrolling on my phone.
Sorry, you haven't been on your phone? Oh, what's this just under? Oh, you replied to my story saying slay.
What time was that?
8:30.
Yeah, so
I sent you that at 6 minutes past 5.
8:30. I just got home.
We had enough time to go and.
So you
had enough time to go onto my story.
Yeah, because I was sat in the car doom scrolling because I didn't want to get out and face what I had to do. Is that okay? Do you feel better now? I've had to explain myself.
Well,
You've had to expose me on our podcast.
Well, I just feel like if you were on there, could have looked at the funny I sent you, and that would have made me feel better.
Well, if I'm scrolling through stories, I'm not on our chat, am I? So I didn't know you'd sent me. I didn't see that.
Good point, but it comes up as a notification.
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd have seen that I'd sent you a notification, and you would have been straight to it.
I did see you'd sent me a notification, but I hadn't opened it, and then I'd forgot by the time I come to it.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, moving on. Question 1. Pre-workout, and as I said, in a slightly different context to what we've ever discussed before. So one of our clients asked about the importance of pre-workout and whether it actually makes a difference compared to something like a cup of coffee, or in Alex's context, it would be a can of Monster.
Monster makes brain go brr.
Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what I told this client. So, when we're looking at pre-workout supplements, I think it's important to recognize that we are, like any supplement, that we're ticking the majority of the boxes wherever we can with the rest of our nutrition, because ultimately you are going to perform best in your workout if you have been consuming the right stuff days, weeks, months prior to those sessions. So this is why consistent nutrition habits matter. So, if you're eating like a toddler and expecting to perform well in those sessions like coming after, don't be surprised if your endurance doesn't last, or you fatigue really quickly, or you haven't got much oomph or energy to kick start the session. Then some tiny dose of caffeine isn't really going to make the biggest difference in the grand scheme of things. However, if you are ticking those boxes consistently and you are looking to add a supplement to your routine, and pre-workout is something you feel like you can benefit from, especially if you are starting to do a little bit longer or perhaps more intense sessions, whether that be strength focused, like power focused, endurance focused, then I would say a pre-workout is something you would definitely benefit from, for the reasons I'm about to explain. Now, coffee, obviously, the idea of having a coffee pre-workout is for the caffeine hit. This is something I actually usually do. I don't always take pre-workout. I only save those for like hard sessions, or sessions if I'm, fighting for my life the second I've rolled out of bed. But pre-workout supplements specifically tend to have additional compounds in, like L-citrulline, beta-alanine. Some even have creatine in them, and these are to help increase your blood flow. So they cause your blood vessels to vasodilate, so broaden. That's not the right word. Get bigger to allow for greater blood flow. Um, yeah, and sorry, I was thinking then if that was the right way. And what else do we do? Oh, lactate buffers. So especially if you're about to do a session where it's perhaps like a running session where lactate threshold work, or you're going to do something that's going to push you to failure and you need your muscles to not give up, then having a lactate buffer is going to obviously support you with that. So those are just examples of things that coffee doesn't have, but whereas you just need a little boost, a little energy boost, then coffee might be sufficient, providing obviously, you don't react poorly to it, like shit yourself or whatever. And a kind of monster. How do you feel like do you feel like it improves your performance?
Um,
Because you don't, in fact, before you met me, you didn't touch caffeine.
no, I don't like relying on things.
I wouldn't say you're relying on it.
No, no, but I don't wanna yeah. Yeah, I don't know, 'cause sometimes I don't know if it was a placebo or not. I feel like it gives me a bit of something, but then is there something about, like, caffeine and it affecting people, the neuro people differently?
There is actually,
'Cause
and
we
I'm
could
going to
talk
be
about
honest,
that.
I actually don't know that
We will
confidently
not
enough to
talk
go
about
into
that.
that. No,
I
but there
retract that
is
statement.
a way that neurodivergents respond to caffeine differently to neurotypicals, but I want to make sure that I'm confident in what that actually looks like before I talk about it on a podcast.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
think I do get a bit, but I don't know, like, with some people say, like, I've never really
I think there definitely is a placebo effect
yeah, 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 for
to
sure.
caffeine or pre-workout in general.
I've never had pre-workout, and I don't really like coffee, so Monster is my go-to source for caffeine
I think
because
though, even though like with Monster, I don't know about you, but even just having a taste would still give me the benefits. Like almost just like the
it tastes
flavor.
nice.
Yeah, it does taste nice, but almost like associating a white Monster with a heavy deadlift is something my brain knows. Like, right, you're about to shift something quite heavy now. Make sure you've got the bump
So you've
to
Pavloved yourself.
Pavloved essentially.
You've Pavloved yourself.
But sometimes you need that because, like, especially if you're in a comp, you don't want that much liquid sitting in your stomach, but you still want the placebo effect of thinking like your body knows you've had a monster. It hasn't really, but it thinks it has.
No, for you, that's smelling salts.
Fucking oh dear. If you no, you're not. I was going to say if you've not tried smelling salts, it was something I always avoided until I absolutely needed to on my comp in February this year. Never look back. Anyway, that's digressing. Something as well to note, if you don't respond to caffeine well, but you still want the benefits of a pre-workout, like the sort of blood vessel dilator, lactate buffer kind of situation, you can get stim-free pre-workouts. So that's something to consider, especially if you're a late night trainer. Don't be
Yes,
chugging loads
sleep
of
quality.
caffeine late at night, because then you're just going to get yourself in a vicious cycle of damaging your sleep quality. And if you turn around and tell me, oh, I still sleep fine, you might be able to fall asleep okay, but I guarantee your quality isn't going to be where it would be.
Same with alcohol, isn't it? Even though
Yeah,
you pass out and you sleep soundly, you sleep
the
because you
quality
get
of
less deep sleep
like
effects, doesn't it?
REM
Your
sleep,
REM
I think,
sleep. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. it affects your REM sleep, and that's where all the good stuff happens.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be
Apparently, I don't
fooled.
know.
Just because you can fall asleep doesn't
Yeah.
mean the quality is what it would be if you were alcohol or caffeine free.
Yeah, don't drink alcohol. No.
What, don't drink alcohol
You've
with
seen
caffeine?
people do shots of whiskey before deadlifts? That
Wouldn't recommend
that would
that.
wake you up.
No,
Whoa!
actually.
Whoa!
Burn your throat. Maybe a fireball. That would fire you up.
I'm a fireball.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, monster.
I think we've
And hey,
answered that one.
be health conscious. Go for the sugar-free ones.
Oh yeah, don't be wasting 200-300 calories on those.
You could be eating actual food for that,
Yeah, good quality stuff as well. Like not the stuff that's just going to be empty
like
calories. It's
grogger.
not worth your
And you could be having grogger instead.
precious pennies, as we like to refer to them as.
You go grogger. Think of all the grogger bowls.
He's obsessed with grogger bowls.
I've had 2 today.
We need to find another herb fixation for you.
This is the danger with my tism, is that you give me something I like, and I won't get bored of it, and I'll rinse and repeat that motherfucker till I die.
And it could be worse things you could be addicted to. I think a Greek yogurt bowl
So
is.
we don't. So what we're saying is, don't let me try meth.
Maybe this is why you stay away from caffeine. You stayed away.
I don't.
Stay away.
Does it have an
stay
addictive thing to it?
away. Can you be addicted to caffeine?
No, but is it
There's
like,
an actual chart that determines if a substance can be addictive or not.
is caffeine an addictive substance? Surely it is, because it's got to be something with. If it's going to do something to your Brian, surely then you're going to
Brian.
associate that with.
I think it is, but again, I don't want to make too much of a bold statement because I'm not 100% confident.
Because I've never had the desire. Like, I've never had a fear of me like, oh, I must have one. Unless people just associate having more caffeine because of the feeling it makes them of feeling more alive, and that's why they do it rather than it actually being addictive.
People definitely become I definitely became
But
reliant
then
on it.
you can't have too
during my
much,
final
can't
year
you?
of uni.
Because it can give you headaches and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
You get the overdoing it. You have to wean yourself off it.
I actually
think that's-
noticed the Costa coffee.
Costa or cost of?
Costa.
Oh, okay.
The
I
coffee
said
brand
cost of coffee.
company thing. I get heart palpitations from their coffees because their caffeine content is which I didn't know until I had until I had heart palpitations from their coffee. I was thinking like, why do I feel like I'm having a heart attack? Turns out their coffee or caffeine content in their coffee bean is a lot higher than your average.
I just thought of something else to add to that as well. That's actually relevant.
What?
Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's right. I'm pretty much done.
I was going to say, if you're.
And I'm a regular coffee drinker for that. So, like, just to show, like, even if you think you have it regularly, doesn't mean you're always susceptible.
I was going to say also, like, you don't want to rely on this stuff and overuse caffeine, because if you are someone that's going to use it before a race day or a comp or something, the effect obviously doesn't it have a less of an effect? So the more they use it, the less it has.
Detox,
so it might be good, like, yeah, if you're going to compete or whatever, it might be nice for a few weeks before. How long before? I don't know.
A week before.
Yeah, a week before. Just go cold turkey so that when you do have it on the comp day, you get more of a kick rather than you basically blunting yourself to it because you've got your body's got used to it. So that's something to consider if you are gonna use it on a comp day, a week before.
You don't need it on your taper. You don't need to put it in pre-workout.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be using pre-workout on a taper. I know obviously everyone's saying, like, you know, they're dying and stuff, but you shouldn't need it. But yeah,
because that's when you just need to be looking after your sleep and your food.
Yeah,
that should carry you through.
But
if you're
yeah,
doing that well enough.
just something to consider is don't use it the whole time because you're not going to get the big kick on the game day. I just thought of that as a potential thing.
I think that's a valid extra. Should we move on to the second part?
Oh yes, we should.
This is where we talked about, or we have been talking to people about confidence, and 1, how to build it, and 2,
bricks and mortar.
What?
Build it.
Oh. How your brain works.
Lego.
Shut up. You're going on a massive tangent now. Let me stay. I try so hard to fight my brain to go on these tangent things, and
I just roll with it. It's good. It's good for the vibes.
Okay. Not good for my sleep pattern though, because it means that if a half an hour podcast takes an hour because we can't stay on track.
What do you mean half an hour?
We could cover all of this in half an hour.
Yeah, but we don't want to just go bam bam bam. We want the hey, what's our brains doing?
People want us to go bam bam bam. Let us know in the comments if you were.
Do you like us riffing and shit, or do you like actually staying on point, staying on the thing? But yeah, confidence.
And when is the perfect time to start anything? Predominantly, obviously, health and fitness journey, like, is the context that we've been asked this in. But I feel like this principle does apply to anything, whether it be a job, whether it be a job application, whether it be a new hobby.
Are we going to relate?
Whether it be asking that person out that you've been fancying for ages, whether it be asking your friend out for a coffee. You know, I don't know what it is. Are we relating this to fitness?
Yeah.
I look so confused. Do you not ask your friends out for coffee? No, you probably don't.
Yeah.
Pint?
I don't really drink.
Metaphorical pint?
Yeah.
Pint of Coke? I didn't specify. You
Can I
assumed.
can I Hulk
How
on a packet of crisps?
What's your thoughts on that, building confidence, and when is the perfect time?
Right. So especially, well, we touched a bit on this last one. Yeah, we did. No.
Yeah.
What was no?
We talked about delaying, well, in the context of Christmas and New Year,
Oh
like why
yeah.
not to delay your
So
starting time till the New Year.
so you see a lot of people, and I think I've kind of experienced this a bit to a degree. And I'll talk about that in a bit. Like you'll get people say they don't want to start the gym, whatever fitness thing, the new sport, because it's almost like they don't want to do it unless they're going to be really good at it. So it's like, I'm not going to start
I've got to be
training.
perfect. I'm not going to
Yeah.
start till.
So it's like, I'm not going to do that thing until like I'm fairly good. It's like, if you start anything new, you're gonna
You're gonna
you're gonna
suck.
suck at it. You're gonna be a bit shit. Like I wasn't great at like
I was
the
perfect, but whatever.
yeah, brilliant. So yeah, I think it's one of those common misconceptions where you feel like you have to be really good at the thing. Where actually, I think we spoke about it a bit as well before about like the intrinsic extrinsic. So I think like that the part of the fun about starting something new and doing it for a long time is that seeing yourself get good. Is like I started here and now I'm here. And you gain the confidence as you get better at the thing, as you hit little goals, as you get stronger, fitter, lose the weight, whatever your goal is. So that's something that happens with the thing. Is you don't have you don't have the confidence and then do it. You gain the confidence as you do it. And I've definitely like what's taken me until this year. Well, I know there's other issues around that, like I was injured and shit. But I think at the back of my mind, I had like before I wanted to compete, it was like, well, I want to be fairly good. Like I don't want to go up there and do like fucking only be able to bench 100 because then people will do this. Whereas like with how nice the community is and everything, they like literally no one gives a fuck. It's like you go out there, you compete against yourself essentially. Obviously, when you're doing your first one, you do the best you can do, and then it's like, because ultimately as well, you might try something and then it turns out it's not for you. So you wasted all that time procrastinating and faffing and thinking you weren't good. And actually you do it and go, oh, actually it's not for me. Whereas like in our case for powerlifting, that first comp you do is all about just having fun. You
Yeah.
go in there and you train it like you treat it like a training day. You're going in and you're basically just doing some max outs in the gym.
Yeah.
And then if you like it, and then you can go into the next one being like, right, got some goals to hit. I want to be competitive. I want to beat that guy. But that first one, it's like that first race that you do, the first swim that you do, the first triathlon that you do, all that is just like, do I like it? It's just a little personal goal for me. And then you come out that feeling a lot better and you get that confidence from doing the thing. Because I know it's like, it's like, is it human nature? But it's, you don't want to go out there and like, suck at something. You don't want to go out and be like, quote unquote, embarrass yourself. You won't, because we all started somewhere. But I think that's the thing that people get stuck in their head. It's like, it's the whole thing with January, isn't it? It's like, oh, I'm going to start in January to do this thing. Like, oh, it's like, there is no perfect time. Like, just focus on being consistent and the confidence comes with it. I think that's
Pretty much all I was going to say, to be honest. Like, confidence will come from you doing manageable actions repeatedly over time. Like, it's not something you can wait to come. It's not something you're just born with. Some people might find, what?
I was just being a child. So it's gone.
What was that? What did I say
I'm
that was
not saying,
funny?
no. You didn't say anything funny. I just heard a word. Gone.
Child.
No. God, no. What the fuck?
Did I even say that? Yeah, I did say that. Repeatable actions.
No. Just go.
Anyway, oh, stop it! You've distracted me now. Oh, what was I saying?
Evil.
Confidence is, yeah. Some people, it comes a lot more naturally to the. Did I say come? Is that what I said? You fucking child! You absolute. Yeah, there we go.
It's late.
Oh, no, tell you how old you are. No, we'll just remind you. 12 years old at heart, forever and always. Oh, I've just distracted myself.
Yeah, look at you go.
Right, confidence. Some people, it will come a lot more naturally to them than others, but it's important, one, not to compare yourself to others because you don't know what circumstances they have or haven't been through to get there. Likewise, you may have been through certain circumstances that have either knocked or built your confidence, as a result. So understanding that confidence is a skill and it's practiced and it's built over time. Like Alex and I both probably weren't confident in the gym the second we walked in for the very first time.
Part of the reason I started training was because I was a fucking scrawny little bitch, and like the whole point of training was to get bigger, so I would be more confident. I wasn't I wasn't good at rugby or football or anything because I was too weedy. I couldn't hold my weight, and I was like, started doing some swimming, did the weights to try and make myself
Yeah.
more competitive for the swimming, and the confidence that I got from lifting weights and seeing getting stronger and getting bigger is why I fell in love with it. But I was always that little weedy. Like I came from being like I was the other end of the spectrum where I was just like
But you could put us both into like a
I was like a
completely
little
foreign
I
gym.
was like
Like
a
you
little
could
grasshopper. I was
like
like a little
I happily walk into gyms in like foreign countries and I don't really bat an eyelid anymore
nah,
because I'm just confident
fuck
in
'em.
that environment. And but that has only come from time, experience, and traveling to different gyms, you know, in relatively familiar areas to then doing it in unfamiliar
Yeah,
areas and just constantly pushing yourself out your comfort zone. So if right now you're wanting to do something that gives you a little bit of anxiety, tightness across the chest, perhaps it gives you those butterflies in your stomach, that is a good sign that you are about to do something that is going to build your confidence because it's naturally pushing you out of
this
your
is
comfort zone. So lean into it.
it's kind of related to the next bit, so I won't do much on it. But I did a post about like exercises and stuff,
Mm.
and I ended up with the whole thing of like I've done some stuff that would be considered. I think we've both done some stuff that would be considered like weird or unconventional. Like you don't see many people in the gym doing broad jumps.
I think it depends what gym you go to.
A lot of commercial gyms, like if you go to a leisure
Commercial
centre.
gyms, no, because you've got a lot of people that haven't got a clue what they're
Yeah,
doing.
but what I'm saying is, like, I know you see a lot of people that when they go into the gym, you know, especially like, and I remember doing it the first time when I was like getting into lifting, and you have some like plyometrics and broad jumps, and you're looking around because you're in a fucking leisure centre gym and someone does it. It's like, as you get more confident, it's like now my attitude is I don't really give a fuck because if it's going to make me better, they can think that it's weird all
Oh, that's a great yeah.
they can think that it's weird all they fucking want. I do not care because I know it's making me better. But when I first came into the gym and I said like I looked at my program and it was you're doing broad jumps, I was like I need to find a space where I'm out of the way and
Mm.
there's going to be people in front of me on a fucking exercise bike and they're going to see me basically do pretending to be a rabbit going up and down the gym. And I was like, oh my God, what do they think? But now it's like, well, I'm bigger and stronger and I've been doing it for years. And now actually I don't care what they think because like I know we've said it to so many people, but it's like 99% of those people in those commercial gyms don't know what they are doing.
Yeah,
So
and
for them to judge you on that, it's like
the gold standard. It's
shut
like,
the fuck up and
what's the
stay in your lane.
pot calling? Hot,
Popcorn the kettle black.
that's the one.
But it's like, yeah, it's because we've like we said before and different things. We've had. It's almost like there's people that if you don't know, you don't know. Like I've had people come up to me and be like, "Oh, you shouldn't arch your back on the bench." I'm like, "That's if you set your shoulder blades in the correct position, they do that." So you've got people essentially judging you that have no clue. When I could happily sit down and talk to them for an hour and educate them on why
Mm.
it's okay to do certain things or why I'm doing this. But then it's just internally, I'm like, I know this is making me better. It might look a bit goofy, but
Yeah.
it's
I remember one of the first exercises I was given when I started having a coach myself. So even though I'd been in a gym environment for a good few years before that, I still didn't really know what I was doing 100%. Like my confidence wasn't there in terms of exercise selection, programming, order, that sort of thing. And I was given a Copenhagen plank, and I thought, I hadn't even heard of this before. And I was like, this looks weird. I've never seen anyone do this before. That looks really strange. And even though I was fine, I did it and it wasn't a big deal. Like, what got me through that was having confidence in my coach to know that, well, he knows what he's talking about. I trust him. If he's telling me, then I know why I'm doing it because I'd asked that question. So if someone came up to me and was like, "What are you doing?" or "Why are you doing that?" then I would also have the confidence to then know why I was doing it. And this is why I have now carried that sort of mentality into my coaching.
mhm.
And whenever I give a client a bit of I guess, unconventional in the commercial gym environment exercise, because like a Copenhagen plank isn't actually an unconventional exercise. It's very widely
To be
used.
fair, in a leisure gym, doing a back squat with good form is an unconventional exercise to the
Oh, yeah.
majority of people.
But
So
like for newbies or people that haven't quite got that confidence there yet, might feel that that's a bit of a strange exercise to do. By the way,
yeah,
if you don't know what a Copenhagen plank is, you're essentially doing a side plank, but you're training your adductors, so you're raising your feet of a bench
you're
or a
putting one foot
platform,
on a platform so that
and you're holding it there.
you're
So
trying to resist. Your hips are going to want to sink down, but you're
yeah,
trying to stay in a straight line. So your adductors are having to hold your leg up.
yeah, and you're in like a side, like your old elbows holding you down as well. So yeah, it looks a bit funky, but it's great.
It's just essentially it's just like a raised side plank. But
Yeah,
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 but
exactly.
you don't see. You could walk into like a leisure centre gym. You don't see like a
You
commercial
don't,
gym.
yeah,
It's not. You see people doing side planks.
yeah,
You don't see a lot of people doing Copenhagen planks.
and I will always say to my clients, like, this might feel a bit strange, but like, this is why you're doing it.
Yeah.
If it feels uncomfortable, it's okay. Like, do it because you'll realize that actually no one gives a shit. No one's looking.
Mm-hmm.
In that my whole experience of ever doing those, I've only ever had one person come up and ask me once what I was doing, and it was a pretty strong dude who went to the gym that I went to in Liverpool when I was at university, and he was like, "Oh, what was that exercise you were doing, by the way? Because I have really tight adductors. It looks like it could be something that would help me with that." And I'm like, "Probably won't, but it is an adductor exercise, so I'll tell you what it is anyway, so you can go up and fuck around and find that out yourself." I wasn't that bold to give him the whole rundown, so like 9 times out of 10, if anything, it will spark curiosity and people might
Yeah.
actually think, oh, that's something new. Haven't seen that before. So have trust that obviously if you've got a coach and you're following a program off someone who knows what they're talking about, then it's probably there for a good reason. And all it takes is just to ask the why. And then you naturally have more confidence around doing it because you know the purpose. So you know that if anyone had the audacity to judge you in any way, they would be the ones that look stupid because you're like, why are you questioning something that is actually completely legitimate? It's like questioning someone for, why are you, I don't know, wearing shoes outside? What do you mean? Why are you not? Like, it's something that's like,
The wildest example that you could have
but no, it's just
picked.
something that's so obvious. Like that is exactly how it could be to someone who knows what they're talking about.
Oh right, I see what you
Like
mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
if someone came up
yeah.
to us knowing that maybe they didn't understand what powerlifting was and they saw us doing a squat and like, why are you doing a squat? Like because they've never seen one before, and it's like, what are you talking about? Why would I not squat? Like they don't know the context, they don't know the reason behind it, and in that scenario, they look stupid because even though they questioned you with confidence, they didn't necessarily know what they were talking about, and you did. So, does that make sense? Or did I just speak?
No, no, it does make. I understood the point you were making. Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
feel
it
like we got
does.
there in the end.
No, it does. It's yeah, like I said, I think the important thing is that a lot of the time it will spark curiosity rather than like noses being turned up at you. Because I know, like I've done it before, where I've done obviously as part of my bench stuff is that with one of the exercises that I've done, I again talked about in the post today. It was very unconventional, the Canelli press,
Yeah.
which is essentially a sperto press. If you don't know what a sperto press is, it's like a bench press, but you like pause an inch above your chest then go up. So I was doing one of those without the pause with a specialty bar, a bow bar, so it increases the range of motion against light bands. So I was putting on my story of doing this like a specialty bar, spoto press, not paused against light bands, and that exercise on the face of it looked fucking goofy as heck, wild. Like I'd never heard of it until I'd been given it, but for what I needed, it served that purpose. And I had one of two people say like, "What's a Canelli press? I've never heard of that." So they weren't going like, "What the fuck are you doing? That looks stupid." It was more out of, "I've never seen that before. Like, what does it do? What's the purpose of it? That looks pretty funky."
And that is the right way to show curiosity in the gym, even if you are looking at something that's unfamiliar. Like, don't be judgmental or
Yeah.
don't just assume that even if an exercise looks funky or they look, never seen that one before, it doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. It could just be something that is unfamiliar to you. And are you all right? Fucking breathing.
Sorry. I was just trying to get comfortable. Sorry. I didn't realize I was breathing so heavy. Sorry. Sorry. I think I just squeezed the air out of myself because I folded my arms.
I
Sorry.
was like, he's going to stop in a minute.
Sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that. That's
That's
my
fine. I've just got no idea how the mic picked that up. But
We're going to find out.
that kind of like off.
ASMR.
Next question was going to be about, well, it is about exercise selection because I often get asked by
We're going to
clients
deep
in
dive into this.
check-ins when they are perhaps not enjoying an exercise or maybe they consistently train at a busy time and they don't have access to the piece of equipment.
Are we moving on to this question now?
Yeah, well, we've basically already been moving on to it.
Yeah, sorry, yeah,
And
come.
I'm just saying in the context of how I get asked.
Yeah, so this is.
I'm not finished.
No, I was going to say we're just moving on to exercise selection.
Yeah, I've
We've
just said
parked
that.
up.
You
Have you did that?
listened to- yeah.
I've had a fucking stroke. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Right, you talk for a bit. I'm going to regroup.
I'll just talk to myself, shall I? Yeah, no. Oh god, you've thrown me off again. I was saying that in the
Clients.
context of this, my clients often ask like, "Oh, this exercise isn't like I'm not getting on with it. I don't like it, or I can't access the kit because it's always taken." Or especially if it's like a superset or something. And I'll always try and be mindful of supersetting exercises and making sure that, it's either free weights so you can put them together so you're not having to like hog equipment and that sort of thing. But yeah, sometimes you need to adapt certain selections to meet the client where they're at and to make it more enjoyable or make it more accessible. But obviously, then that lends a question sort of, well, how much is that going to impact your progress? And how important is it that you do specific exercises? And, is there always room to make those kind of decisions? What would you say on that?
To that specific point,
Mm,
I would say, oh God, because you can go down a rabbit hole with this. Um, I think with everything, every decision that you make, there's always like a pros and cons. So it's not as black. Well, I suppose it is black and white and on the surface level, but it goes deeper than that. And especially, I think as coaches, like I don't know whether you find it as well, it's kind of picking like the lesser evil.
mm,
So you get like obviously we'll talk about just like Gen Pop because I want to go specific points because I've had someone that's like doing it for a sport, but I'll cover that in a bit. Um, if you're more just trying to do it for general, like you just want to generally get a bit fitter, stronger, healthier, I don't think the exercise selection is potentially as deep as if you are doing it for a specific purpose, like a sport or, you know,
an injury
or
rehab
yeah,
or
something where
postural
yeah,
rehab
I
type of
think
thing.
if the goal becomes more general, like I just want to, like you're someone that's relatively sedentary, you haven't really done anything before, and you're just trying to move, it becomes more of a, for me, when I'm trying to get someone in, it's teach them the fundamental movement patterns. Can they squat? Can they hinge? Can they do something that's a push? Like, have they got vertical and horizontal? So have they got the range in their shoulders, doing some kind of pull and doing something that gets their spine moving. You cover those 5 movement patterns. So a squat, a hinge, a push, a pull, and some kind of rotation or flexion or extension of the spine. And then if you've got some time at the end, you do some fluff stuff, do some fun, get an arm pump and all that kind of shit. Now, what you do in terms of what that squat looks like when you do more gen pop and you're trying to pick whatever fucking squat variation they like. If they like doing barbell back squats, do that. If they like front squats, if they like Zercher squats, if they like SSB squats, like each of these, like on their own, if we take each of those exercises, they each serve a specific purpose in terms of something front loaded is also going to challenge the torso and upper back more. Something that is, like a dumbbell split squat and stuff, it's going to challenge, unilateral strength more. Like each of those exercises has a specific purpose. But I think it's the way I look at it when I'm programming for Gen Pop, like getting someone in, just give them something they enjoy. Because if their baseline is nothing, doing something is going to be better than doing nothing. And what I say to them is, as you do this more and you get a bit better and stuff crops up, we potentially might need to do some non-negotiable stuff. Like if you notice when they squat, um they can't get into a deep squat, or they're rushing through ranges of motion because there's a weakness or something there, then you might have to program something specific to address that thing. So I always give them the thing of like, we're just gonna try and do stuff that you like, just get you moving, just practice these things. And then as they get a bit deeper into it, you might have to make some stuff more specific, because of course, like as coaches, we want to make someone better. Like I'm not gonna, if I see something glaringly obvious, like they lack the ability to put their hand over their head, they can't shoulder press because of stuff. So of course we're going to put some stuff in to try and fix that, because if we think quality of life as well, like something as simple as they're picking something up and putting it on a shelf, or they're trying to reach to the top shelf and pick it, like if they lack that, that impacts their life. And if their whole goal is to be a bit fitter, stronger, healthier, we want to try and make them fitter, stronger, and healthier. And if we see something glaring, of course we're going to fix that, because that's what their goal is. Um, but in general, I think the movements that you pick don't have to be as specific, because they haven't got an overreaching goal of X, Y, and Z. Like the example I always give is like me and Han compete in powerlifting. Like in powerlifting, you have to do a squat with a barbell. You have to do a deadlift with a barbell. You have to do a bench press with a barbell. So our training is going to be, a large part of our training is going to have those movements in, because we have to practice getting good at those movements. Like we have to squat, bench, and deadlift with barbells. That is the sport. We can't rock up and be like, oh, I don't like the straight bar, I want to do a trap bar instead. It's like, okay, well, good luck, because you need to do it with a fucking straight bar. So if your goal is more specific of you're doing a powerlifting comp, you're doing a whatever, you like even something like you're doing a triathlon, right? If you're doing a triathlon, well, of course you're gonna have to do some cycling and swimming as well as running. Like those are the three disciplines in the sport. If you don't include, and again, there's the argument that can be made where you don't necessarily have to do that thing all the time, but then it's going off tangent, isn't it? Like you don't always have to do that thing to get really good at it, but you have to include it in some capacity. Like a lot of that
Yeah.
time is the people that don't deadlift as frequently have got very fucking proficient at deadlifting before they make before they only, they're not doing deadlifting as much. So
Yeah, like
you
you
have to
can like train, I don't know, you can do a leg press really heavy and some of it will translate over to being a good deadlifter, but to get good at the skill of deadlifting, you are going to have to
it's
obviously deadlift.
it's the post I did a day. It was all about exercise selection, and I used that as an example. It's like if you want to get good at this is how this is going to be a very 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 basic example, and I'm not like this isn't because I think you're all thick shit, but it's kind of this is how like glaringly obvious it has to be because some people get so mixed up in it they miss this. It's like the most important thing is having the clear goal. The program and the exercise selection should reflect that goal. If you do not have a clear goal, how the fuck are you supposed to program? Because that should reflect that, right? So if we're taking person A wants to get good at a back squat, you need to include a back squat because you have to get good at the movement pattern of doing a back squat. You can leg press until the sun comes home, and that's going to make your quads good, but it's doing fuck all for training the movement pattern of a barbell back squat. You have to include that thing that you want to get good at. Talking about goal reflecting exercise selection and programming, right? So yeah, and I think it's something that gets missed a lot of people. It is such an obvious thing, but you get so many people, especially when I've had like people go, "Oh, what do you think of my program?" And it's like, "Why is this in?" And they go,
ChatGPT told me
well, not
to.
even that, but they don't know, and it's
I
like,
have.
yeah, and it's like they're like, and it's like the way I say it to people as well is like, if you have a goal, whatever that goal is, you should be able to justify why every exercise in there because every exercise should be feeding back to that goal directly or indirectly. What do I mean by that? If it's to get strong at powerlifting, you should have some stuff in there that looks powerlifting. So squat, bench, and deadlift. Now you might have some indirect stuff in there. There's like hypertrophy work or rehab work or stuff that's addressing stuff that you're weak at. So you go, oh well, you say to be really specific, and you're doing chest supported dumbbell rows. Okay, well the chest supported dumbbell row is probably not going to make my bench and whatever squat deadlift better in terms of it's not the movement pattern, but what it is doing is hypertrophying the muscles. It's potentially fixing weaknesses in terms of it's making the muscles that pull my scaps together and down stronger. So when I'm in a bench press, I can better hold position, stuff like that. But when I go through a program, and I say this to all my clients as well, like ask me why stuff is in there because my brain works better and it's the same with when when I've got a program come through and something changes, the first thing I'm doing is why has that changed? Because I want to understand why. And a good coach should be able to do that. Like if I change something and I do get ones that do it, they're like, why has this come out for this? Oh, it's because the last time you tested this max, you were weak here. We've put this in to address that weakness.
Yeah.
If you have a program and you cannot justify why stuff's in there, it probably shouldn't be in there. Like I do arm training. Obviously, again, you might be thinking, what's it going to do? It has a purpose, and I could tell you what that purpose is. It doesn't look like a bench press, but there is a reason that it is in there.
Yeah.
I could talk about this shit for days. I will
I
let you
think
talk
like
a bit.
no, the only thing I really wanted to mention was that like the importance of asking these questions to understand why you're doing what you're doing helps because the more experience you have and the more confident you get with those exercises and knowing why you do what they do and their purpose and their intention means that you can become a lot more independent in your own
Yeah.
gym workouts because it means like if for example you have a coach and there's an exercise that they've given you in your program that for some reason you just can't do, whether it's because you don't have access to the equipment, whether it's because you don't enjoy it, maybe you're having a shit day in your life, I'm not fucking doing this exercise, like it will send my soul into the ground and I haven't got much more to give. Relatable, have been there. If I see Bulgarian split squats on my program and it's been a really rough day, I'm like, fuck yourself, I'm doing something different. But doing that is going to be better than not doing it all, and you're still going to get the adaptation. So like knowing this information is important because if it's going to be a case of doing it and not doing it, you want to not necessarily have to always rely on being able to speak to your coach there and then or speaking to someone there and then to make that change because that might not be the case all the time. And you don't want to have, you want to, it's the whole point of good coaching. You want to be making or at least from my perspective, I don't know, like I want to make them more independent and
Oh,
confident
I say to them,
individual. Yeah,
it's the worst business model ever. Essentially,
yeah.
we want essentially as when I get someone in, and obviously they have to be willing to learn as well. So I say to them like, if you want to learn, I will teach you everything you want to know.
Because we want to teach you to be able to do this on your own.
Yeah,
Like, we don't want you to have to rely on us forever.
like our goal as like a good coach, which isn't, it's like I said, isn't a good business model, is you come to us and we basically give you in the 6 months to a year ish, probably I'd say you can learn a lot of stuff. We want to give you enough knowledge that you could stop working with us, go into a gym, and you could easily write yourself a full body program or an upper lower, or if you're doing strength training, you know how to lay that out. You
Or
know,
at least the basics.
yeah, yeah,
Because your goals you may be
yeah,
someone where your goals will always evolve in that
yeah.
case. You will
But
theoretically always need a coach that's 10 steps ahead of you.
you have those fundamentals, like
Yeah, yeah.
you know what a squat works and a deadlift works and a bench works, and you know some variations that work some slightly other things, and you know what like, so you know those like fundamental building blocks to build out a program. Obviously, you're probably gonna always need someone in your corner if your goal is very specific.
And
But
especially like a coach goes beyond the programming side of it. It's the
yeah, yeah.
supports, the accountability, yada, yada, yada. I won't go into that, but yeah.
The other thing I want to touch on as well is like, again, for exercise selection, is I had a conversation with a dude the other day about, so he wants to do stuff for rugby. So he wanted to do a like strength and conditioning program or gym work that was going to supplement his rugby training. And again, it's understand like if you're trying to get better for the sport, it's making sure that the gym work doesn't take away from the sport. So if you're training X amount of sessions, you've got a game on one day, it's making sure that those sessions are getting you stronger without making you too fatigued for training. And then like Hannah's point as well, saying like, again with the sports stuff, it's doing exercises that aren't like, because you're not a powerlifter and you don't have to be married to certain. I think this is a common thing that you see with people, especially like more gen pop that don't specifically go into something like powerlifting or strongman or whatever. It's like they almost get married to the barbell, and it's like you don't like. There's a trap bar deadlift. There's a SS, but you don't have to, like, even though the barbell is there and everyone, you see a lot of people on Instagram and doing, it's like you don't have to do that. Like I know, I don't know, this is going to go into like the coaching side and probably giving stuff away, but like, especially for sport, is part of that is obviously building those adaptations and making you better for that, but part of it is almost like making it idiot proof and making sure you don't do something. So you could pick a squat variation that deliberately is like self-limiting, like a Zercher squat. Like on a Zercher squat, it's very rarely going to be your leg strength that holds you back. It's going to be more your upper back and torso strength to hold position, right? So if you're someone that wants to stay, minimize as as much risk as possible, pick variations that are quote unquote nicer or safer. Obviously you can't 100% reduce the risk of injury, but you can implement things that almost like hold you back. Like you can still get really strong on a Zercher squat. Like if you're Zercher squatting 3 or 4 plates, you're going to be strong as fuck. But it's almost like you've got a built-in safety net to stop you from, like, if a back squat goes wrong, you have the safeties, that can go catastrophic. A Zercher squat, if you just straighten your arms and the barbell falls out. So you've almost got these built-in things to prevent you from, it's like, same thing with trap bar. Like a trap bar isn't going to be like a true deadlift. It's not as hingy, but because it's more over the midfoot, it allows you to use legs more. So it's not like that it's safer, but it could be more a friendly way to deadlift for people that aren't used to straight bar deadlifting. So you can even build in variations, and us as coaches, we can even manipulate stuff to kind of like still get you to shift some heavy weights, so you're getting neurological adaptations and do this, and this. But even with the exercise selection, we can kind of like help mitigate and minimize risk, because if you're doing it for a sport, we want to make sure you can actually go and do the run, go and play the rugby match, go and play the football match, go and do this, and this, and not have been banged up from the gym. And that's the main thing, is making sure the gym work is supplementing the sport and not taking away from it. And that is the most important thing for that. So it's like, it's even stuff like with benching, you can use specialty bars that put you in a more neutral grip. So it helps take stress off your shoulders if you're a rugby player and you're constantly taking fucking trauma to your shoulders doing tackling all the time. So there's all these different things that you can do to help. If you look at a sport and see where there's a lot, where the most impact and whatever are, you can then build in exercises to help reduce the stress off those areas that are getting more stress. Like, once you understand those things, you can literally play around with it and make it properly tailored to what you need. Yeah. I just thought that was a conversation I had with someone. It's interesting because I think it's some stuff that people don't. And again, like, you don't know what you don't know what you don't know. But a lot of people see the surface level where actually think more outside the box. A lot of people get married into like this certain way of like, you have to do everything with the barbell. No, you don't. Like, if we didn't do powerlifting, I probably, I might not even do a straight bar. I might just work exclusively with trap bar because it feels nicer than a straight bar. Like you don't just because you don't have to do it a certain way, and there's nothing wrong. Like again, if you get really strong with a trap bar, like a low handle trap bar, you're going to be strong. Like if you can do that for 5, 6 plates, doesn't make it any worse than a than a conventional deadlift. All an exercise is a tool to do a thing, and again, there are fucking stupid exercises like doing backflips with a dumbbell on a Bosu ball. Like don't get me wrong, there's things you can do that are fucking stupid. But like within reason, there are no good and bad exercise. It's just what do you need and what exercise is most appropriate to do the thing that you need. And that's it. Like that Canelli press, when I was doing that, I'd never heard of that. And when I first got that through, I was like, what the fuck? I've done a spoto press. I've done a
Can you
banded
describe
press.
to people what a Canelli press
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did previously do,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't remember if you did.
Yeah. It was a while ago. 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes ago. But it's like, I'd never seen that. I'd done the individual components of it. I'd done a spoto press, I'd done a banded press, and I'd benched with that specialty bar, but knocking them all together, it's like, I'd never heard of that. I'd never seen it. And it seemed wacky. But for what I needed and what was weak on me, and to fix that weak point, it worked fucking wonders. And when that got stronger, everything went up. So it just shows like, if you showed me that a year ago, I'd been like, what the fuck is this? Surely there's something, you could do something that's less fucking fancy and whatever, but it did exactly what I needed it to do.
Mm-hmm.
So what was wrong with that?
Yeah.
There is nothing, as long as it's fixing and it's addressing the stuff that you need, who's anyone to tell you that it's shit? It comes back to the confidence thing of like, my attitude now is where I'm at now. If I've got a weakness and I get programmed something to fix it and I know it's fixing it, fuck what other people think because I'm stronger than you. Argue with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Really is that
there's not.
simple sometimes.
But that's like,
And
I
even
know
if
it's, I
you're
know it's a
not,
bit like
that doesn't mean they know more than you. Sometimes they just train like idiots and they get really strong
yeah,
idiots.
but like that's my attitude is that because like I could see it was making me better, I could see it was making me stronger, and I could see it was fixing the shit I needed to fix. So if anyone said anything, they'd be like, fine, you don't believe. And the other thing as well is that exercise is probably not appropriate for everyone.
Mm.
Like if you did it, it might not be the thing you need. So it might not have you might not have got out of it the same thing that I got out of it. And that's the whole thing of like, even between like me and Han, it's we both do the sport of powerlifting and we both squat, bench, and deadlift, and we both do it a bit differently. But what I need is vastly different to what you need.
Yeah.
So Hannah could do something on a lower body day after she's done her squats to do this, this, and this. And if I did it, it wouldn't do the same thing because her weaknesses are different to my weaknesses. But you apply the right exercises and it fixes the stuff that you need. I use the right exercises and it fixes the shit that I need. It doesn't mean that what you're doing on your day is fucking shit and worthless and crap and what I'm doing is bad. It just means that she's just using the right thing that she needs on that day to make her better.
And I think it probably just comes like to summarize that, like when it comes to exercise selection, it does and it doesn't matter dependent on the context of what you're doing, which
Yeah.
is so annoying because like the one answer in health and fitness is like, it depends.
Because everything relies on context.
Yeah, so
Is the bicep curl good?
It can be something that's super flexible, like if it's just an accessory, you're just training your arms, it can just literally come down to what range of motion are you trying to train that specific muscle in, or
Yep.
like what is the outcome you're trying to get? Are you just wanting your pump? Are you just wanting something to train your triceps, for example? Like, is it not that deep? Do you only train them once a week anyway? Like, you understanding how many opportunities do you have that week to train them? And if the exercise looks similar to what you were originally programmed to do, you're probably going to be okay to do it. I mean, obviously that needs a certain level of experience and understanding around
Yeah.
biomechanics to be able to do, but the more you do it, the more questions you ask, the better understanding you'll have around that. And then obviously it gets a little bit more complicated and a little bit more specific the more specific your training is. So again, accessories do and don't matter. Main lifts matter a little bit more. But yeah, long story short, ask questions so you actually know what you're doing, because that's going to build confidence. It's going to help you understand what you're doing in the gym, why you're doing what you're doing in the gym, and just have you overall becoming a better athlete.
I think that's the biggest thing is be curious.
Always ask why.
Ask why. If you don't understand something, ask why. Like I always encourage it. Like I'll do a post, and if it's a bit of a wordy, lengthy, more knowledgey based one, it's always like, read this, ask any questions. Like, I want you to understand. I fucking love talking about it. If you don't understand, I will give you the time of day.
That was probably one of the most important lessons I've learned from school, and it was my history teacher, and it stuck in my head so much. And she was like, if you take anything away from the GCSE, I want you to make sure that you ask why to every situation, or like every question I ask you, or like every statement I give you, always ask why. I thought, interesting, taking that into
Because on the flip side as well, if you do have a coach and you do ask them why and they can't answer,
mm,
that should be a bit of a red flag.
yeah. So it's
Because
a good way to vet your coach, I
because
guess.
you
No
shouldn't
pressures,
be
please.
like, again, like I wouldn't put something in if I didn't know what the outcome was that I wanted. I wouldn't just throw some shit into a program and be like, oh well, I hope it fixes what their problem is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Like,
sometimes, I mean, I say sometimes because this is we're talking a little bit more high skilled, perhaps a little bit more complex clients. You do have to throw shit at a wall and see if it sticks. But then they would be open about that. The coach would be like, "Look, this could work. This couldn't. Perhaps I've not had experience with it
but it's
before."
not even that. Because even though you're trying something and you don't know what it works,
There's still logic
they
behind it.
have
Yeah,
they know why they're doing it. It's like,
yeah,
oh, okay, cool, you're weak here. I've got 1 or 2 exercises I want to try that fix the same thing, but you might respond a bit differently. So let's try this for 3 weeks. Does that work? No. Oh, cool. Well, I'm going to try this instead. Like, even though it's like, I agree. Like, part of a lot of the stuff is fucking around and finding out, and that's another thing I love about the whole. Like, again, going back to like the confidence and enjoying the process is, if you have, like, I can see something, it's almost like that mad scientist approach and just being in a lab with fucking test tubes and shit. It's like, here's what I want to happen. I've got 2 or 3 ideas of how I could get there. Let's test them. Which is the best one? Well, now I know that if I have that problem with me again or a client, I've tested these 3 things. Middle one worked better. That's gonna be my default and go to when I see this problem happen again. So, like Hannah's saying, like, it is a lot of fuck around and find out, but every fuck around and find out has
still
some
have like
logic underpinned it. It's like, have a good idea this is gonna work, but let's try it for 3 weeks. And we say to them, like, hey dude, like, this, we noticed on your deadlift you failed here. I've got a bit of a strategy I've thought about to do it. Do you want to give it a go and see if it works? Fuck yeah, cool. Well, let's do that then. Doesn't work? Well, I've got 1 or 2 things as a backup that I also want to try. It's not a like, do this.
Also, I think we've like spoke enough about that, but off the back of that, that is the difference between one-to-one coaching and something that's more generic. So if you're following a sort of more of a skeleton template, or if you're in like a group coaching program, or if you're just having a program that's been super cheap and it's like been given to a lot of people, then chances are those exercises are going to be less and less specific and
Yes.
you won't necessarily benefit from them the same as you would if your program was written, sorry, one-to-one. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's almost a little bit of a tangent again. But I think we've covered everything we
Well,
need
no,
to cover.
I think it's a valid thing, isn't it? Because that's the issues with like, I don't want to, it's not bashing people, but you'll see some of these like top, you know, influencers or powerlifting type people, and it's like, here's my 6-week get stronger bench program, and it's like, I get it, but what I need is going to be different to what you need to what the next person needs.
Yeah.
So how, like you're saying, usually those big programs are going to be more generic because they're trying to cover the a million bases that, like, there's a
But
million and
that
one
is also
reasons.
you get what you pay for.
Yeah, there's a million
If
and
you
one
want the
reasons why you
one-to-one
might be,
premium service, then you pay for the one-to-one premium
and
service.
that's,
If not, you're paying probably like 30 quid a month for a generic plan.
yeah, and that is the thing, isn't it? It's like, we're all individuals. We all have unique things that we need. So the the benefit of working with someone one on one is that I'm looking at the individual and being like, cool, breaking shit down. What do you need? Rather than just saying like, here's a bent get stronger program.
In theory, this should work.
Go and do it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it might do or it might not, depending on what they need work on. Does that program include it? Well, no, let's just fucking hope.
Exactly. But yeah, hope you found that one useful, guys. And we will be back next week with a.
We always do like any closing messages, anything to leave it on.
I don't have a fun fact. I didn't prepare one.
You didn't prepare
I
Jesus.
need a
You
crystal
didn't
ball.
prepare a fun fact.
Did you know Santa's colour was originally green, not
Mm,
red?
why?
I need to ask.
You know, when you give the facts, you have to usually have the thing that
I
backs it
did
up.
know this. I think it's something to do with the fact. Wasn't he originally based from Germany?
Ah, Santa Claus.
Right, that was fucking awful. There is no way you. Right. I'm so sorry to anyone who has German heritage or is perhaps German and has just had to listen to that
I could,
diabolical
I could have done,
attempt
I
of
could have done way worse German impressions.
Was Santa
There was a certain chap.
originally green? Look, it comes up.
Okay.
Can it hear me? Yes, early versions of the figure who became Santa, particularly English Father Christmas, often wore green robes, symbolising winter, nature, and the spirit of the season, before the iconic red suit was popularised by Victorian illustrations and later Coca-Cola ads. In 1930, it was Coca-Cola!
Do you prefer him in green or red? Which drip do you like? I kind of like the green, you know.
I love a foresty green like that, but I don't know, I feel like because I've grown up with red, it seems more appropriate.
Do you want to leave it on a really bad joke? Why is Santa's sack so big? Do you know the punchline to this one?
No. Is it going to be rude?
Yes. Why is
Why?
Santa's sack so big?
I don't know, Alex. Why is Santa's sack so big?
Because he only comes once a year.
No, I'm so sorry.
And then
everybody.
second one.
No.
Second one. Why doesn't Santa have any kids? No, because he only comes down a chimney.
I'm so sorry you've all just had to witness that. Please like, comment, subscribe, and don't report us for that inappropriate.
That's tame.
I'm joking. It's fine.
I could do worse.
Yeah, no, we're good there. I think we can call it quits. Thanks, guys. Love you. Let us know if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to discuss. And when will this be released? So not that one. It'll be on Christmas Eve. Merry fucking Christmas.
This will be a Christmas Eve. Yeah.
Oh my God, we should have started that with that.
We should have looked at the calendar.
Merry.
No, it's not going to be Christmas Eve. It's going to be No. You're looking at the wrong day.
Wednesday. Oh, Monday. Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. We're recording one on Christmas Eve.
This will be coming. This will be coming out. So it'll be Christmas week.
Yeah, it'll be the last time I speak to them, regardless, before Christmas. So Merry freaking Christmas,
bitches. Hope Santa brings you
lots of goodness and goodwill.
Everything that you want.
No coal.
No.
I was trying to speak over whatever you were going to come out with. So
no. Actually, I was thinking about it, but I was going to not do it.
Brain ticking of like, what can I say?
Yeah, I hope you have a good time with family and friends, and you eat a lot of food, and you're all having a food coma at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Send
on
us your
Christmas
pictures
Day.
of your Christmas dinners. I love comparing Christmas dinners.
Most of us lots of pigs and blanket.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
big up the Yorkie puds.
Otherwise, there's no point of having a Christmas dinner if you're not having pigs and blanket.
May you all have great gravy. Lots of love. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye. Peace.